one of your findings and one of the recommendations, I suppose, that comes from your study is that the SABC, there's a need for the SABC to then modernize their business strategies. So for me, just in that sense of modernization, it implies so many interesting things in terms of
Yes.
whether SABC is then in terms of business strategy. Could you unpack for us just around that recommendation, that finding? Modernizing, what are we talking on? On what levels is this modernization? Is this need for modernization of the financial strategy
Yeah.
For the SABC?
So basically, we have to understand that the SABC is one of the oldest protesters in South Africa. Basically since 1936, they've been the monopoly. Then later throughout the years, they diversified and the market was opened, and then obviously with many other players, but obviously when the other players came in on board, they came in with new technology, right? And yet the SABC was still kind of like operating based on the technology that it was incepted with. You know what I mean? And hence for the need for it to modernize, to adopt new technology, the argument is very strong there on my findings that it needs to modernize, adopt new technology and be able to compete in the market while retaining its DNA and also while serving its mandate, So I think this is something that is also kind of like important, throughout literature. There's a scholar called Julian Doyle. She's one of the scholars of media economics, and she just talks a lot about the need, to modernize, to the broadcasters actually, modernizing and, adopting technology, you know what I mean? And also, competing. So basically when I was doing my study, at that time, the SABC it had not launched its streaming platform, but